Usually at this time of year, bird watchers here might enjoy spotting migrant whooper swans or maybe a yellow-browed warbler. Less common is the sight of a huge bearded vulture soaring through the autumnal skies. Normally more at home in mountainous regions like the Alps, the bird spent the summer in the Peak District and has now moved further south, and the twitchers have been flocking to keep up with it.
Never has the phrase ruffling a few feathers been more apt for this rarest of avian visitors. The local magpies in Norfolk clearly slightly irritated by the sight of a bearded vulture dropping in on their turf. Nicknamed Vigo by the local twitchers, he's been causing quite a stir. With a wingspan of some 7 feet, the epic outline of a bird dwarfs everything around it. Only once before has a bearded vulture been glimpsed in the UK 4 years ago, when one was seen around Wales and the West Country. Ashley James was among the enthusiasts who was lucky enough to photograph Vigo this week.
Someone described it at the weekend as like watching a barn door flying. It was just that big. Everybody around it was fascinated by it, and it's quite entrancing to see something like that.
Vultures are normally found in the Alps or the Spanish Pyrenees, where the endangered species is being reintroduced. This one was caught on camera in Britain earlier this year in the Peak District. More recently, enthusiasts have spotted it in the Lincolnshire FENS, then in Norfolk, and it was last seen in Sandy in Bedfordshire. Vigo has been causing a degree of traffic disruption as he feeds off roadkill, but experts at the Hawk Conservancy in Andover say Vigo, like all vultures, poses no threat to livestock.
They're an obligate scavenger, which means they just eat dead things. They eat carrion, and that's what they do. In fact, the bearded vulture, much of its diet actually comes from bones, believe it or not. So they're certainly not a predatory bird at all.
Normally your only chance of seeing a vulture in this country is in a zoo like this, but over the last few days the exceptionally lucky have had the chance to see a vulture in all its majesty in the wild. Vigo is slowly heading south, perhaps building up to a channel crossing if the weather improves. Until then, he's hunkering down, possibly regretting his decision to come on holiday to Britain in the first place. Dan Rivers, News at 10, Andover.
Good to see at least one tourist has made it here.